Hi, my name is Kunle Payimo and this is Elevated Gospel. Today we'll be looking at the mercy system of God, and our case study is going to be Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Now when we look at Genesis chapter 2 and verse 8, you will discover that the Bible says God planted the garden in the eastward side of Eden. Now when you look at chapter 2 and verse 9, we see God placing the man in the garden. But by the time we got to chapter 3 and verse 23, we saw God chasing the man out of the Garden of Eden. Now this is it. We all know they've committed certain sins and all that. They trespassed against the commandment of God. And this is a very interesting part. When you look at the chapter 2 and verse 8, we noted earlier, we saw God planting a garden in the eastward side of Eden. Now, that means Eden is a big location, and God chose to plant the garden in the eastward side. So, the conception that they were chased out of Egypt is wrong. For a believer to think that means that a believer is not paying attention closely. So, it was the eastward side. God planted the garden. The old Eden was not the garden. So, God chasing them out of Eden is not a correct interpretation now. So, God chasing them out of the Garden of Eden is the correct one. Now, this is it. God is a God of justice, and his justice is what he used in his judgment. And when a man trespasses the instructions of God, he is bound to be judged by certain laws God has put in place. Now, justice is what gives his judgment balance, and this is where mercy comes in, because the wrath of God is such that if it is not based on mercy, no man will be able to withstand it, because God is upright in nature, and this means it doesn't bend. And now this is Eden. Eden means a delightful spot or something that is pleasurable. That's Eden in general. That's the meaning of Eden. But God chose to plant his garden in the eastward side of this place of delight. Now, when God was chasing them out of the Garden of Eden, notice God never chased them out of Eden. He chased them out of the garden that was built on the eastward side of Eden, on the eastward side in Eden. So this is it. The justice system of God fighting somebody does not mean God's mercy is still not in place. You are a drunk. You've drunk yourself to the point where your liver and your organs are failing. Because there is judgment for you to put what is not supposed to be healthy in your system now. You put it, then there is a repercussion that plays out. And this is where justice takes place. The justice system of God or nature will fight what you have caused on yourself. And then you start having different kinds of sickness. The same thing with a thief. A thief is a breach in what is supposed to be a normal thing by taking what does not belong to you. If the person is caught, there's judgment. And justice is the balance of judgment. Now, mercy does not mean that judgment will not be in place. Mercy does not mean that justice will not play out. Mercy is the intervention of God, because to face the uprightness of God means a man can be damaged beyond repair. So mercy comes to play in. So, God chasing Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden, it still means that he still kept them in the confines of his delight and a pleasurable place. The only difference was that it was God specifically that built the Garden of Eden by himself and placed them there. Now, that he built the garden, okay, what really makes the garden is that the presence of God was in the garden. Make sure you are still in Eden, even though you have sinned and trespassed and you are casted out of the garden God has placed you originally. Make sure that the Eden, you did not leave the place. When you read chapter 3 and verse 24, you see God placing an angel with a sword at the eastward part of the Garden of Eden. Eastward part of Eden, rather. Excuse me. So you need to build around the patterns or the systems of God, even though you have trespassed. Now, don't let devil make you to come to a point of depression and you feel that you are actually out of God's will or out of God's pattern. That you chase yourself out of God's will does not mean God still doesn't have mercy in place for you. So Eden may have been taken or collected from you, but don't let anything collect the owner of Eden from you, which is Jesus. So what makes Eden Eden is God. And God gave something that is better off than Eden to Adam and Eve, and which is Jesus. In fact, he gave Jesus to all of us. And I can tell you, Jesus is still better than the Garden of Eden. So, that God chased you out of the Garden of Eden because you have committed certain trespasses and so on and so forth. So, don't worry. stay around Eden. The mercy of God is still there to find you. What makes a man is not just the garden, but the Jesus or the God that is with him that makes a man. So in the mercy system of God, God will never cast a man out of his presence entirely. He will still keep you in the confines where men can see you and help you to know God again. He will still keep you in the place where your business can rise up again, where your career can be built again. Your own is just, don't give up. Don't step out of Eden by yourself. Stay within Eden, and God will bless you. Thank you for watching. Please kindly share this video, and God bless you. Thank you.